I would like to say is that the answers for these questions have to be from revelation, because we don't know. So it has to be from revelation. If someone has given you an answer and it's not from revelation, it's a problem. So getting back to what happens to the soul leaves the body. The hadith speaks of it getting to a place known as barzakh. Barzakh is a place where these arwah are kept, these ruhs, or these souls are kept, waiting for the last day. A person who's had goodness and so on, the days pass and like a flash. A person who's perhaps been a bad person, it may pass a little bit slower. But getting to the second part of the question, the first part was, where do the souls go? They go into barzakh. What exactly is the whole description of barzakh? I have to stop where the Quran and the Sunnah have stopped. We cannot describe beyond a certain point. I will tell you, look, it's a waiting place. The souls do not come back to greet the family members every year. You need to know that. Some people say, okay, every year the soul comes back, salam alaikum, how are you? Some people say the soul comes back to us and cleans the home. And some people say the soul comes back and does this and does that, and I feel it. Those are, jinn sometimes. Those are the devil sometimes. Those are the qareen sometimes. That's something else. Those are spirits, known as spirits in some traditions. But it's not the soul we're talking about. It's not the individual. They don't come back to you and say, hey, how's it, guys?
Death only indicates that life is eternal. It's like changing your clothes, moving from one room to another room. After human life, this self leaves this body and becomes pretatma. And then from pretatma, then it becomes pitru. There is a difference there also. Then pitru, then they move on to higher realms.
Gurudev, does the soul continue to evolve even between lifetimes? Does it continue to drop impressions? Or does it have to take a human birth to evolve?
It has to take human birth.
And every soul shall have a taste of death. Once a person dies, his soul is not there. But on the day of judgment, when he'll be resurrected, then, depending upon the good deeds and the bad deeds he has done, Almighty God, on the day of judgment, He is Malik Ramaddin, He is the master of the day of judgment, depending upon how you have failed the test in this world. Depending on that, then your result will be whether you go to paradise or hell. So the soul lives. Soul doesn't die. It only has a taste of death when a person's body lies. So the relationship with the body and soul put together, you have the human being here. But in the hereafter, there will be absolutely a new body given, and the soul will survive. And then, depending upon how he has fed the test, he will go to heaven or hell. Hope that answers the question.
Lord Krishna says, Arjun, every day when you wake up in the morning, you take off your old clothes, have a bath, put on new clothes, but you remain the same person. Likewise, death is merely the soul changing bodies. But what are we going to carry with us? At the time of death, the gross body is left behind. And there are two other bodies that are enveloping the soul that it carries along with it. The first is Karana Sharir, or causal body. It has our sanskars, our karmas of endless lifetimes. And the second is the subtle body. So astonishingly, the mind, the intellect, the ego, these constitute the subtle body, they continue with the soul. So our mind is not of one lifetime. It's coming from past lives. And that is why in childhood sometimes you get the feeling of deja vu. Oh my God, I have seen this before. Why does this seem so familiar? Right? So the French have this term deja vu. And we have an explanation for it, that the mind is continuing from the past. So some of the images, etc., from the past are embedded in the subconscious. So that is also continuing